E whatalo whātu I le nganga whaaloalo I le nei vaenga o le toi whaawawina o le tautua al si ufonga o le tai o whau loutou pa ia ma loutou ma malu Samoa. I vaenga ese o le lalolangi nei o lo outou a fio ma papa awai o sa ma whaingata o lo tātua tunuu I o na pa ia I tūnga te tele ia mātou te whaafeilo ia tuai le nganga whaaloalo ma so mātou manatu ta'alolo ia o tō pa ia ma sa ma whainga. I le whare poru tutofi o lo tātua tunuu ia o la lātou whatu ainga tausi lea. Ai o le toi whaawawina le nei o le tautua lo whare wālesi o si ufonga o le tai au fau ina maua mawai atu le amataina e pe o nau tau whianga iai mo le sunga le whawhenga inga ia misi pōwena tangaloa ma le porkalame i o tau manuia. A o le awhiawhi nei la. Ua whaiva ese whailo pepe lo tau whi tā mai mua mai ma lau tau sila mai mua I le pa ia o le atunu o lo whaatasi mai. O le aise teimi o no mātou alolo le porkalame masani o le ne iaso e tusai o no tātou whiangai e pea iaso whai soo. Ai ua malo tia whoi le potu au tua whaasalonga si ufonga le tai au whau e pe o no tau sila mai ai o le so o le amataina ai le porkalame o le saafi le whai oa e pe o na auna ina atu e pēr si ufonga le tai o whau loutou pa ia ma loutou mamalu. I se whaatalitali nuanga whoi ua tuu whaatasia I lātou o langolangoina ma tau mawhaia le toi li liu mai o le taalonga la kapita I to fitupu I le ai o California ia e pe ona iai le nia fiafi le nā la ua whaatasi atuai ia sui mamalu o le nei au nanga o le si ufonga le tai au whautaina ne whoi le whianga le whadautusi o le Samoa o tasi ia mare malo whaarorongia I le nia fiafi o le director lea o le lakapi LA7s ia e pe ona utou sila mai ai ia I le malo o le nia fiafi o le amataina ai le tātou porkalame whaawau le nei aso ia vai ane lava loutou pa ia ma loutou malu Samoa. Ai o le tātou se pese lea ia to vai foi o le whaafeiloa inga o loutou pa ia ma loutou mamalu ia ona tuu atua I loa lea I le lau o le au nanga le si ufonga le tai au whau ia mo le amataina o le whailoa inga ia ma le whionga I le tai foi o la kapi o le nei atunu e tenane o le LA7. So si ma le whaafonga le tātou pesele nei.
Our special guest tonight is Daniel Joseph Lyle, born September 28, 1970. He's an American former rugby union player who played for the United States National Rugby Union team 45 times from 1994 to 2003, serving as a U.S. captain in 24 of those matches. Lyle played number 8. Lyle was born in Louisville, Kentucky, a 1992 graduate of Virginia Military Institute. He took up rugby union age 23 in an attempt to keep fit. Lyle debuted for the U.S. national team against Ireland in November 1994 at Lansdowne Road. He first captained the U.S. squad in a match against Japan in June 1996 in the Pacific Rim tournament. He also led the U.S. Sevens team to victory in a bowl competition at the Hong Kong 70 in 1997. Lyle captained the team at the 1999 Rugby World Cup. Lyle appeared for the United States in the 2003 Rugby World Cup and retired from international play in 2003. Through his national team career, Lyle earned 45 caps for his country and captained his side in 24 matches, including 11 wins in those matches, at the time a record for the most win all time by an U.S. captain. That record since been broken by Todd Cliver. Professional rugby. He joined the English club Bath from the old Mission Beach Athletic Club, OMPAC, for the 1996 to 97 season. He spent 7 seasons at the Bath and played in 125 matches for the club. He helped them to lift the Heineken Cup title in 1998 with victory over Pride, and captained the side for the 2001 to 2002 season. Lyle moved to Leicester Tigers in 2003. He had been invited to train with American football team Minnesota Vikings and had a trial with the Washington Redskins. Lyle was inducted into the USA Rugby Hall of Fame on June 4, 2016 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Then Lyle worked for the United World Sports as an executive vice president and a tournament director with the USA 7 from 2006 to 2016. The owner and operator of the USA Sevens Rugby Tournament. That tournament is played every year at Sam Boyd Stadium in Las Vegas and is the largest commercial rugby tournament in the United States. Dan Lyle left UWS to become the director of the rugby of AEG, launching AEG Rugby in October 2016. The USA Rugby 7, or the USA 7, used to be played in Las Vegas. Lyle and those who are involved in the leadership of the AEG decided to move the 7 down to LA, to the city of Carson, and name it LA 7. So we're going to take a break and come back, and Lyle will explain to you the reason why the 7, USA 7, changed its name to LA 7 and why it moved from Las Vegas to the city of Carson. And many other questions will be given so that we'll give our community a better and a deeper understanding of the rugby world and the reason why we need to support the rugby for our Samoan community. So we're going to play some music and come back, and the opportunity will be given to Lyle to explain to us the purpose, the vision, why the USA 7 in Vegas is now here in Los Angeles County, in the city of Carson.
Far mai o maunga pea whapua o ni timunga. O loto le tutu sa wala e ona le maua se iunga. O ai e le poe wana upu e se ina dia oe. Mana oi ai le loto ai vai lo utino e. Sau I tau ta eva nei o pe ta tino nofo I le malia o si o loto awane e toima salo funga e te tali tonu pe ata so sola I maunga le vabe leta fawata itai umo ilongata be afa solo wape oseata o olinga Tamilo ilo ia o aonga Malau loto tumule alofa Iava aia wefa ailoa Lofa amuli mai Samoa Lau pelewa e pole vale Ua e tui le utale vale Ua e leo na sai mai whapale.
Okay, Mr. Lyle, this is the opportunity given to you to explain to our community in your language the focus, the purpose, visions, why the Rugby USA 7 is moving from Vegas to Los Angeles. And mind you, since in English, it's not limited to our community.
Yeah.
There will be other people coming out trying to find out the information. So go ahead and explain it to everyone.
Well, thanks for having me. I certainly think that maybe I can resonate with a few people. I've been lucky to be on the shores of Samoa on a couple of different occasions and play a little bit of rugby in Apia versus Samoa a few times, and faced the Samoa and Sabitao, a few times, and have great friends within the Samoan community. A great friend of mine is Pat Lamb, who longtime Samoan player, who's the coach of Bristol in England right now, and faced down the famed Inga Tuolanga, a few times, and was a Wigan and also played well. So a lot of great players, and played with the Tuolagi brothers. Obviously, Manu Tuolagi is playing for England right now, and his brothers Henry and really good, great people, and have had a lot of wonderful times with so many people that from the Samoan culture. And one of my dear friends in Colorado is Mosi Di Matteo, and he's married to a really good friend of mine. So we have a great relationship. So really happy to be here. Thank you very much. The LA Sevens is what was the USA 7. So everybody that's out there that's thinking that Vegas or is still on the cards, it's moved to Los Angeles. And really the main purpose is that the Olympic Games, as we all know, are coming to Los Angeles, and it's short, I guess, 8 years away, maybe a little bit less than that, in 2028. And the venue that everyone will be in this year for the LA Sevens Dignity Health Sports Park. Many people used to know it as the StubHub Center or the Home Depot Center, right? It's now the Dignity Health Sports Park. We all call it the Dig now. So you come to the Dig, and that's where the Galaxy play, and that's where the Chargers have played for the last few years. It's moved there because that is where rugby will be in the 28 games. The men's and women's rugby tournament for the Los Angeles Olympic Games will be at Dignity Health Sports Park. So the World Rugby Federation and USA Rugby asked AEG if we could support the growth of the game, and would we help them build the event in this market. And we said, absolutely. We love the game of rugby. Obviously, I'm the director of rugby for AEG, so we leapt at the chance to grab it. And what's better than bringing 15 countries plus the United States into one of the most diverse marketplaces in the world. Los Angeles, it's got so much culture, so much diversity, and so we brought it here, and it's the minimum for the next 4 years, but the hope is for the next 8 years, leading right into the Olympic Games.
So that is good news to hear that you are hoping to connect the rugby world towards the Olympic when they come to the great city of Los Angeles. Can you explain to our community about the contribution of the AEG to the world of rugby?
So those that don't know AEG, we're kind of a below the radar, I guess you could say, white label in a lot of ways. But we are the largest sports entertainment company on the planet. We are, just to be perfectly blunt, we manage and own stadiums and arenas all over the world. We present music and festivals all over the world, from Elton John to Ed Sheeran to the famed Stagecoach and Coachella, and we have the O2 in London and the Shanghai Arena, and of course the Staples Center and Dignity Health Sports Park here. We own the Galaxy and the Kings here that many people in LA love, and many all around the world. And we have a rugby division because rugby is truly global, and we're a global company, and we manage facilities in Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane, where Australia and the Queensland Reds play, and different venues out there. And so our mission is global, but it certainly, as our roots are American, we wanted to grab a great American global event for rugby and make it our own. And really, coming to Los Angeles has allowed us not only to use the resources because our headquarters are here. The whole LA Live complex where Staples Center is an AEG complex. All of the hotels and the restaurants are down there to bring it here. But the reason why we did it is that we want to grow the sport in Los Angeles as well. There's a lot of kids that play the game, but there's a lot more kids, boys and girls, that don't have access to the game. So many of what we're trying to do is we're creating an impact beyond and a legacy program, so that we can put money into the community to fund development officers and new programs. And we've identified, right outside the gates of where there's Carson High School has got a great team. They have a great female team, women's team as well, and they have a great team. And Mira Costa is right there. But there's not a lot of youth leagues that kind of connect the dots. And so Carson is a place that we'd like to really start a league very, very quickly. And we're working with the Southern California Rugby Union and others that are really official to make that. So this is a catalyst for growth. Look, we all know that Rugby Sevens is a fantastic party. We know that people get together and really have a great time, and we'll build that same atmosphere that people got used to in Vegas, that same entertainment, that same music, foods of the world, drinks of the world, and really the music of the world, and really make it a truly international event.
I'm glad to hear that, because the rugby world and its diversity can also be a catalyst to bring peace and connection throughout different cultures and different parts of the world. We're in a troubling time, but I think the sports is a blessing to bring peace and connection, to to each other and the diversity of cultures.
Yeah,
and ethnicity.
the rugby ethos or the rugby values, the number one that's at the top of the list is respect, and solidarity, teamwork, are the values of the game. It's such a physical sport, but as soon as the game is over, everybody embraces, everybody shakes hands, everybody is connected. You can be rivals, without being, I call it revelry without rivalry, right? You can compete with each other. You can, to the highest level, but the degree to which these teams have respect for each other, I guess is tantamount to most Americans would, when they see the sport or see sport, teams are staying in different hotels. They come in different buses. They meet on the field, then they separate. In the rugby sevens, they all stay. All the teams, all 16 teams, stay in the same hotel. They eat in the same places, right? They look each other in the eye and they shake each other's hands. When they're between the lines, they go at it, and when they're off of it, and that's the way that the crowd acts. Yeah. The crowd acts the same way. In 10 years in Las Vegas, I think we had 3 arrests in the entire thing, and none of them were for violent acts. And 3 in 10 years with that many people, it's pretty impressive. I think that maybe sometimes we get a bad rap in rugby that because of the physicality of it, right? Yeah. But the reality is that I think everybody lives and breathes those values of the game and that ethos, and the players more than anyone else take it to heart and protect those. So even though they want to kick each other's butts or rear ends, right? They after the game, they make sure that that's all left on the field.
I'm glad to hear that you put the emphasis on the word rivalry and respect.
Yeah.
As long as the players maintain respect, the followers or the fans will probably follow the same thing. But violence will probably avoid at all cost in the sport. Explaining.
Yeah, it's using a little bit of fancy words. It's the dichotomy of the game, right? It can be so physical, so confrontational on the field, but it demands that you're respectful, right? You can't hurt the other person, right? And so you can be very confrontational in verbal discourse, right, with each other. You can really vehemently disagree with one another, but you're not going to take it to any other level, right? You're going to walk. Think about it, and you can agree to disagree, and the world's big enough to agree to disagree, right?
Agree to disagree.
That's right.
A good way to put it.
Yeah.
The diversity of the world we live in.
Yeah.
Okay, now the opportunity to the secretary of the of our non-profit organization from the community that we work with. If she has any questions for you, then we can take a break and come back.
Yep.
See if any of our listeners on the live stream right now have a question for you.
Well, I so much don't have a question because Dan and I, we've been communicating already for quite some time via email and also a couple of meetings that we've had. But I did want to take this opportunity to say thank you, because this is such a big event here in LA, not just for the rugby fans, but for the Samoan community, and also to bring the different communities together, not just specifically one community, but the city of Carson. We love the city of Carson. We are basically a nonprofit here in the city of Carson, and we organized the Samoan Flag Day. I think that's how we got in contact. You contacted us in the beginning to help publicize this and also promote the LA Sevens, and it's such an honor and a great experience that we're dealing with right now, and an opportunity to keep it here in LA and to bring money into the city, and not just for that, but put some people into work, and there's just a whole bunch of positive things with the LA Sevens being here, and hopefully for the next, let's get over the 4 years, right? And then
I think
8 years.
Yeah, I think Marilyn brings up a good point. The sport speak for itself, yes. But those that haven't seen rugby will see a fast-flowing, really rapid, lot of tries, multiple games. I always say it's perfect for the American attention span. For every 20 minutes, there's another game, right? But from that, it's not just a sporting event, right? It's a cultural event. It's a unifying event where each of the different communities can come together and culturally reunite together, do events, fundraise, do a lot of activities for themselves. The Fijian community, the Argentinian community, the Kenyan community, the English community, the Australian community, all of those people come together and they unify and they have events all around this. And it really shows, the first, second, third generations that are here, along with the people from the homelands, that they really can come together and find, this real connectivity, and the sport of rugby and it allows that to happen, and this event allows that to happen. But it's funny. There's half the people that are there are in love with rugby. The other half are in love with their country or the international eclecticness of this, right? And it's a really cool thing. I call it the Mardi Gras meets the Olympics, right? So in that regard, it's really great.
I think that's one area of the sports that is very beneficial to the diversities of the community here in the city of Carson or the county of Los Angeles. As you mentioned, it's a catalyst of bringing people together to share their culture, not just to enjoy the game of rugby, but to share the uniqueness of each cultures among ourselves here in the county of Los Angeles. I think because the rugby more or less look at the global level instead of just national or local level. I think that's where the benefits of the sports to the community, not only here in Southern California, but throughout the states and also throughout the world. So we are very, very, very happy and blessed to have you come on board and explain to our community the hope and the vision of the rugby games here in Southern California. So we're gonna take a little break with music and see if any of our people participating on the radio tonight have a question for you. So the mic is open. If you have a question, give us a call. Lyle is able and willing to answer your question to the best of his knowledge concerning the LA7 coming into Los Angeles 29th of February to the 1st of March. Is that right?
Yeah, 2-day event, all day long each day. And we also have an invitational tournament, which will be about 250 amateur teams that goes on Friday and Saturday as well. And all of those people will be at the event as well. And the moving it for Los Angeles opened up new divisions, the U8s, the U10s, the U12s, all the kids are now involved, which they weren't involved too much in Vegas because it was hard for them to get to. So it really opened up a new chapter for the event.
Yeah, and I'm also very curious when you try to explain how the rugby world, or specifically AEG, try to give back to the community by educating the young people. And I know there are rugby clubs around in the city of Carson. They try to teach young girls and young boys how to play. Maybe they will connect with you and see how you can help them to enhance the sport and encourage. There's a young girl in my church got a scholarship playing rugby. She's now in the University of Georgia.
Fantastic.
So
yeah,
the sport is slowly, become one of the sports. Or these sports that the young people
there are close to 500 teams in the greater Southern California area, right? So, but this is a huge community, a lot of people, and there's a lot of gaps in there, and there's a lot of need for coaches and referees and just development, and more opportunity is needed. And so, an event as big as this, we're putting fundraising mechanisms in place, with dinners and give backs and structures, so that we can help fund the community, so that they can put more programs in place and so forth. So it's not just and And look, the selfish part from our perspective is that those are new fans and those are new participants and all that kind of stuff. So it's a win-win for all of us, and you know that's the approach we have to take.
Yes, and also a good opportunity for the leadership of the community to learn about rugby and how rugby try to help each and every community, not only here in Southern California, but throughout the United States and overseas.
Well, one of the programs that we have is what's called it's called the HSBC. HSBC is a big bank. They're the title sponsor of the event. Adopt a Country program, and we send each of the teams into the community. They're adopted by an elementary school or a middle school. So the Mano Samoa team will be in the community. That school will have already learned about the culture of Samoa, will have already learned about rugby, and then the team shows up for that a week, and they have a pep rally, and then we invite those kids that have learned rugby and been part of that cultural immersion, and we do the same thing with New Zealand and the same thing with Australia, and so all 16 schools, and then you repeat that, and then those schools then become part of the leagues that we and the youth leagues that we do there. So there's actual physical programs, and the one of the new things that we're doing and bringing here as part of that curriculum is we have what's called Rugby Counts, and so it's actually a financial literacy thing where you learn about about math and how it works, and it's a games-based approach that they can do in physical education class, and it's really geared towards that 4th, 5th, 6th grader, so that they can be confident. So that's something that we can use year round to promote not just the game, but also that math science approach. So it's all the only thing that we need for Samoa for this event is for Gordon Titchens, who's the head coach, to make sure he lights a fire under the boys, so that they get into the second day at the right level. I'm jesting, but they've come on the first 2 legs. They've done very, very well, and the last 2 years they've come on very well. But in all honesty, it's highly competitive, and all the teams have risen really significantly over the last few years.
Glad to hear that, because the sport can be an avenue to enhance the quality of life in our younger people, especially in big cities where there is so much problems, gangs and violence and stuff like that. But I do believe that rugby will be another avenue to guide, to encourage young people to do positive things for as you mentioned, the mind and the body goes together. You have a healthy mind and a healthy body. It's a win-win situation for the young people.
I see we have a couple of questions
Okay.
there.
Okay.
I know the answer to that one.
Okay, you can go ahead and answer the question.
Yeah. So the question for those that can't see is about the structure of the competition. So the traditional structure is a 2-day competition. You have the 16 teams. They're all in 4 pools, and you play each of those teams in your pool. So 3 games on the Saturday, and then they re-rack them, as they call them, and you've got the top 8, which is the Cup quarterfinals, and then the next 8. And what happened in the first couple of legs, this was Cape Town and Dubai that have already gone on, they went right to a semifinal competition, right? They eliminated some of the brackets because they were they didn't think some of the games mattered, and funnily enough, the players and the coaches came to the tournament organizers, to World Rugby, and said, "Hey, let's change that back." So I think it's a Malo Hakaya, right? That's how he.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. To answer his question, the schedule will be that every team will play at least 2 games on the Sunday as well. So it's full ranking points, and so if you're in the top 8 or the bottom 8, even if you lose one of that next game, you're still going to play so that they have a full rankings of 1 through 16. They had eliminated a game, in those first rounds, and everyone was like, well, I want to watch my team play, even on the first day they might slip up. It's so competitive now. So it's a great question, because it's something that's going on around and on the internet that they've eliminated one of the games, and I can tell you that that's going to come back out. Yeah.
And of course, does she have a question? Okay. The question is,
position rugby curriculum, because you look very. Yeah, well, I used to play. I played for the U.S. for 10 years and played in Europe, and I am one of the main commentators for NBC Sports. So I do all the commentating for English Premiership, and I just did the whole World Cup, which is obviously Samoa was in for several weeks. So I guess I feel like I have a voice for radio, maybe not a face for TV. But,
you look handsome on TV.
There's no makeup in this. That's probably what the case. So this is natural. Yeah.
Any other question? If not, then we can go on playing a mission.
Are you still playing? Oh yeah. Well, I'm coaching the grand team of the U10s. I have 3 boys, and so they're all playing. So I'm actually coaching my boys. I'm a lowly volunteer coach, and I'm coaching at the U10 and U12 level. I live in Colorado, and so yeah, that's what I do.
There's another question here.
Yeah, what happened?
I'm curious about what happened.
Yeah, the simple is that the stadium in Vegas was they're building the new one. I think a lot of people know that the Raiders are moving to the new stadium. From Oakland. That stadium is due to be opened in the next year or two for football next year, but for rugby and soccer probably the year after. It's not necessarily. Don't know. We're hoping that it's the size and shape for it. I think Vegas deserves some rugby. I think that it'd be great for a New Zealand, USA, or Fiji, Samoa. There's lots of Vegas is a good one-off destination, but the venue changed, and so it went out to bid to. And the cool thing is that 18 American cities bid for it. It was people wanted to be part of it, and I think because what we talked about before, the Olympic Games being here, and AEG getting involved in a few other things, we really put a bid together that made LA look and feel like it. I think that the biggest thing that is in benefit of LA is that all of the different countries are represented so well, and there's a vibrant rugby community here. In Vegas, it was relatively small. And so lots of factors, but those are some of the main reasons.
Do we have any question? Any more questions? No. Okay. Let's go on a break and come back, please. Yeah.
o manuia na o le taua malo ho oe o se au na le aunga e malo ho oe o se au na le aunga ho oe o le it's a town malo malo o te tapua e alai le te tau ya la la o luli ya manu ya u faida e lua u pelu o lau fatu me le tua Ya imana tuaina Loi mata o matua
We're going to give Lyle more time to explain the strategy and the plan for the tournament, how it's going to be done, if there were any special event prior to the tournament, or we're going to go straight into the tournament.
Yeah, so I think one of the questions that's out there is, what we talked about the reasons for changing, right? It was there's a physical reason, right? The stadium is going away. The availability of something else in Vegas was not there, and so the challenge is, do you just stop the event or do you do it somewhere else, right? And I think that was the same challenge when the event was in San Diego. Many people really loved that downtown Petco Park. They could walk to things and all that stuff. But the challenges there was that the city wasn't necessarily behind it from a financial perspective. There was a lot of gaps there. The stadium was very expensive and all that stuff. And so when it moved to Las Vegas, many people were like, "Oh my goodness, you moved from San Diego. You're going to Las Vegas. What's the deal?" Right? And so I think it's natural for people to feel a little bit of discomfort, feel that what do I do? What do I redo? We're going to announce on Monday or Tuesday of this coming week kind of how a lot of those people that were really comfortable in where they stayed and where they went, we're literally answering those questions on the website with a drop down in LA. It's where do I stay and where do I go? So we've built a network called the Rugby Hub. So if people don't know the geography of LA and where Carson is, it's right in Torrance and Redondo Beach, and Redondo is next to Hermosa Beach, and Hermosa Beach is next to, and just south of that is Long Beach, right? So in that regard, you've got a natural rugby hub, the South Bay, where 80% of all the Olympic venues for 2028 are going to be, right? So we chose the South Bay, and we'll be listing the hotels and the kind of the bars and other places that people can go so that they know that they can associate with other rugby people of all different countries and all different nationalities. But the Rugby Hub and the Rugby Network will be kind of the new Strip or the new Vegas, if you will, right? And look, LA is big, right? There's a lot of things to do, but it's attracting a lot of outside people. People want to come. There's so many cool things to do here in LA. So I understand that question, right? I built the event in Las Vegas. I was proud of it, right? In that regard. But there's a life cycle to things at times, and this is the new life cycle, and I think that people love the sport and they love the event so much that I think that they'll repurpose themselves, and we're going to expose ourselves to a whole nother group of people, here in Los Angeles that never went. Vegas was just not their cup of tea, as they say.
And besides rugby, LA is known as the entertainment hub of the world. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people come to LA because it's the place where they make movies, and they have the Universal Studios and Hollywood, and it's so close. They're all in the proximity of 10 miles apart. Considering the traffic. Well,
the biggest complaint, the flip side of the hey, why aren't you still in Vegas? We got loads and loads of complaints every year is like, hey, I can't bring my kid to this event. I can't. It's in Vegas. That's a different thing. You know what I mean? So, I think LA is a very neutral ground, right? You've got the ability. It appeals to everybody, right? Just as I said, it's a little bit of a re-education.
Yes. It's family friendly. Everybody and
well,
anybody
they like to
can
party here too, right? So
yeah, but the kids also, many things to do in Los Angeles.
yeah.
So, do we have any other question? Ty, do you have a question?
Yeah.
Can you?
Love to get thing. Bring in not only all time. We got the question. I
Posters,
social media, just social media.
Yeah, there's the whole campaign. So you start with breaking down, those constituencies. Who do you want to come? And there's the rugby constituency, and there's lots of different factors in that. There's lots of different groups, lots of different people, and you segment that and you figure out ways of communicating to each of those. Because we're in this world that social media is king, but there's other ways of connecting to that from traditional media sources, traditional ways of doing that. So that's one factor, the rugby community. The second factor, big constituency is the expat community, right? And we're talking, obviously, we're on Samoa radio, and we're talking that we're doing equal amounts of structure times 15, right? The other countries, and some have a more sophisticated or more there's depth to what they do. The British American Business Council or the British Consulate that's Wales, Scotland, and England. There's a whole level. There's events around that. We were at the Polynesian Bowl, the football game the other day with passing out flyers, right? So you go to events, you create connectivity through all the different layers of social, cultural, and businesses that are connected to the event. And the last one is the new fans, right? So we have some billboard campaigns, radio campaigns, other ones, and it's really those last 6 to 8 weeks. They're really all starting now, because really what we've been doing for the last 3 or 4 months is seeding the market, really trying to get people that. The biggest thing was, well, hey, what is this LA Sevens thing? Well, it was the USA Sevens, right? And so going from there, if that answers the question, but yeah.
Okay, then you yourself as an American, you grew up from basketball, you grew up from football, so now the rugby, and now you're putting all your time to the rugby. What we think, what we can do to the Americans to bring the rugby in as another game for them, beside the football, beside the basketball. So what we can do to those American people to bring the attention.
It's a great question.
Yeah.
I think this is broader than the LA Sevens, but the LA Sevens is as Reverend said, one of the catalysts to this conversation. I often tag on social media. I call it #mainstream. How do you mainstream it? How do you legitimize it within the American sports complex? And you've got to think about, well, what is the American sports complex? How do we think as Americans? Yes. We think scholastically, meaning schools. Yep. We think intercollegiate. We think college. And we think pro, right? The other thing that we think is the Olympics, right? That's where every American grows up thinking, I'm going to play for my school, I'm going to play for my college, I might go pro, or I might play in the Olympics. Now the world is getting smaller, so other international events, other things, certainly on every tennis and golf and racing and all those things are there now, right? Because they're better. But the part of legitimizing the sport is not just making it better in schools and better in colleges and getting the pro league that is now entering its third year, Major League Rugby, but it's also getting it on television. It's getting it on broadcast. 5 years ago, as little as 5 years ago, you had to go to a bar to watch rugby. You had to take your kid to a bar to watch rugby. Now, with ESPN and NBC stepping up, the two main broadcasters stepping up, you almost have appointment television. You know that there's games going to be on, right? There, you know where you can get it at home, right? You know, for $4 or $5 a month, you get as much rugby as you want, you know, and they're showing games on linear televisions for the masses. But it's a campaign. I mean, the Americans also love winners, right?
Yes.
You know, and the good thing right now is that our sevens teams, our men's and women's sevens teams, are top 3 in the world, right? Getting a medal in Tokyo will be, in my opinion, I love the game of 15s. Played it, you know. So and sevens, I love the game of sevens. Played that as well. But the Olympic Games is kind of the penultimate for Americans, right? You get, you know, you could be in a quarterfinal or a semifinal of a Rugby World Cup, but if you win a medal in the Olympic Games,
right.
So it's one of those things where there's an awareness conversation, there's an infrastructure, meaning the sports complex, and so the building blocks have started to happen, you know, and when events like this come along, they can't just, hey, we're here and then we're gone, right? And one of the things about Las Vegas, and I'm not critical of Las Vegas, as I said, I helped build it, I love it. There were 3 rugby clubs in Las Vegas when the event came. There were 3 when it left. Right?
It wasn't
Right,
growing.
because everyone came from outside. It was a 95% out-of-market environment. We have to make this kind of a 50-50 environment, right? And it has to be a catalyst for growth. It has to put money, experience, and awareness into the community. And every time USA Rugby or American Rugby does an event, a test match, or anything else in other communities and within the United States, it has to do the same thing.
True, right. Danny, I have another question here. Money-wise, and I believe there's a lot of parents are listening right now. Mostly of Samoan parents, they don't want to, encourage their kids, their children, to go play rugby because they want to, to enroll to the football or other kind of American games, sports, in order for them to get a chance to get that big money. So, are you looking at American players, to get them more money from playing rugby here?
Well, I think I think Major League Rugby, now that there's 12 teams, right? Those are all fully professional. They're paying a living wage to these players now, right? So they're 30, 40, 50 grand salaries. I think encourages more people into the game, and I think because you can see a pathway is what you're really talking about, a career, at least a next step. I think it's equal on the women's side. It's an emerging NCAA sport for women, which means scholarships, real live scholarships. I think that there's more men's teams, all colleges doing that as well. I think that you see the likes of Paul Lisike and Joe Teafate, who play for the U.S. team. They're playing professionally overseas, let alone A.J. McGinty and Bryce Campbell and a few others. There's a pathway to real money. But remember in sport, remember this, everyone that's listening, 1% of 1% go play pro, right? So what rugby has is it's in 1,000 universities. Right, and if you're playing rugby, then those grants, those ways of getting into school and having a sport that you play, and having that camaraderie, and I think in sport, I think it keeps kids occupied. It keeps and rugby's a really engendering game. It's the common denominator. It's a very team-driven sport. Everyone feels equal. Everyone feels the same. So. While we all, want the next step and we see those amazing Samoan NFL athletes and Tongan athletes that are there and we see The Rock, and we've got an invite, by the way, to him to come to this event, right? Dwayne Johnson. So boom, right? Get him out there. In that regard, it's more about that they learn the lessons from sport, and they might have to get the opportunity if they're really, 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 really good,
I have another question. Okay, which platform of ideas standing confront? I need to buy some tickets for the 7 aside. Please, where would I go from here? Please,
Yeah.
for the. Oh, okay. Let's talk about tickets.
Yep. So so the idea is for tickets is la7srugby.com or everyone in LA knows Dignity Health Sports Park or Access Tickets, AXS.com. So Access Tickets is the ticket site, that you link to off of LA7's rugby.
So everything's online.
Yeah, everything's online. If it's a great question, and it's a segue that we were talking about in our community meeting that we had the other night. The stadium in Las Vegas was 44,000, right? And,
Yep.
and because it was 44,000, I think that it on a Saturday it got up to 30,000+, and it got to the high levels on Sunday in the high 20s. Because of that, I think that there are more people in Los Angeles, right? There's a higher target ratio. The idea that the event will sell out is definitely on the horizon, right? So I think that people that don't want to buy online or have family and community in Carson and Torrance and all that stuff, walking up to the box office and buying your tickets ahead of time it's going to save a lot of energy, a lot of time, money. For everybody out there, the single day tickets go on sale on the January 15th, right? So if you can only go one day, because the only thing that's available right now is the 2-day tickets,
Yeah.
So the single day tickets go online, and we come out with a family pack, which is for kids and adults all bundled together. And if you're a parent and you've got kids and the family pack is not for you, you can go to Southern California Rugby Union, Southern California Youth Rugby. That's the state-based organization, and they're selling their youth tickets through the Southern California Youth Organization.
What's the lowest price you have?
And those tickets, I think they're $50 2-day tickets, so it's at $25 for
one?
youth. Yeah, for youth, and I think the adult tickets are $60 or something like that a day. Look, it's a 9-10 hour day. It's a pretty good. We are lower priced than every other tournament, and we're lower priced than what Vegas was. And I think that's worth noting.
There's a question regarding security.
I hope that you guys will have good security for the sake of. Yeah. Well, fair enough. I don't think it's Compton, but
Dan, can you talk about second phase of those 4 years?
Yeah.
Second phase, the tournament here in Los Angeles.
Yeah, there's lots of really cool things that are happening at Dignity. The venue is a campus actually. It's got a velodrome and where the cycling is, and it's got loads of fields outside, and they're building a secondary, smaller stadium there for which will house field hockey. Of all things, we're very Commonwealth sports people. From Samoa would know what field hockey is probably more than most Americans would. We all know ice hockey versus field hockey, and that may allow us to add the 6 of the 10 stops. They've got the women's event as well, right? So adding that to the equation would be something that we're considering. But there are 5,000 kids in Greater Los Angeles that are playing the game of rugby right now. We want at the end of this 4-year there to be 10,000. We want more kids and more participants, more value going into the game. We want to be at a sellout with a high value, and we want to be thinking to ourselves, well, how do we expand it from here? What's the next step? And so the sky is the limit because we're in such a strong market. We're in such the corporate environment within Los Angeles is one of the top in the world, right? We're in the 5th biggest economy in the world, right? Let alone anything else. So we have our goals, we have our stretch goals, and we have those fantasies out there. LA is built on fantasy, right? It's built on entertainment, and I think that we have we have a lot of thoughts, but we have some practical tactics to this, right?
Yes.
You know, so we've got people that are in the community right now, talking about how we're going to take the monies that we're doing, the programs that we're doing. We had to lay out an entire, we call it the Impact Beyond strategy. So the whole Impact Beyond strategy is how we're going to get more kids, and that's what I was alluded to earlier about some of the leagues that we're starting and how we're integrating and putting more money into it, and then going out to the different corporations that are involved and saying to them, this is what your money will do for this community. You know, and really kind of driving that. This is how many more coaches we can put on out. This is how many more leagues we can do out there. And, you know, funnily enough, we've got this great game and it's played all over and so forth. But we've been really bad in America doing that. Just organizing it, asking the question, and then executing off of it. And so our legacy of the first 4 years will be to have some really defined structure that is leading to the next steps. Yeah.
We're gonna take a break, play some music so we can come back and ask more questions for Dan to speculate or expand or whatever you can do to enhance the awareness of our community from all different approaches. And hopefully will be a lot of people coming to attend the event.
Ia, Samoa le tunu pele tue whaataro whātu i le mamalu le tunu le nei vahenga o le fiafi. Ia, pe o le anganga tonu lava o le tātou por kalamia ma le avanoa ma le lipule o le lakapi tu tonu le nei tunu telo Amerika. o le whaamoe maurunga lava, ia o loutou lango mai, o loutou lango ina, o le whātausanga nei wanga iai, ia e maua wanoa o inga o tangata itasi, ia o le lava tam whai e tarife sili a le li o Dan, ia e mō loutou silafia ma le nofo malama, ina ia whaingofie o loutou wheso o tai mai i me mauai tickets o nofoanga, o hotels, pa ape te malanga ma mau mai, ia o taimi nei e whesili, o whaamoe maurunga lava, ia nofo le tournament i nei mo le for the next 8 years. Le main purpose na o le mātou talanoa atu, ia ma le sunga ia tan i le nei wanoa, ia te tonu, ia maini atu whesili ala whauwau mo se taimi ia ona whauwau leo le porkalame a le sa awhia whai o le nei a fiafi, mai whanwala.
Ted, could you please speak to the difference between the USA 7 and the LA 7 for the awareness of our community?
Yeah, sure. The USA Sevens was the name of the event since its inception, and it grew as a brand. And I think everyone's saying, "Well, why did it change to the LA Sevens, and what was the purpose?" One, the company that used to run the event owned that brand. They own the USA Sevens, so it was their prerogative to kind of keep that. The second one was that as many people like that name. The USA Sevens is really about the team, right? The USA Sevens team, the USA Sevens men's and women's teams often got confused, and it became people were and when they were talking about the team, were always tagging the event, in that regard. So the LA Sevens is the event, and look, the LA Sevens, the Los Angeles community, the Los Angeles the broader community getting involved in the event is paramount, right? The event, we talked about this before. The maybe the biggest couple of tournaments that are out there that are not played in indigenous rugby countries, right? So indigenous means the ones the South Africans, the English, the New Zealanders, the Aussies, where rugby is very, very popular, right? So Hong Kong, right, is not indigenous really, and Dubai, right? Those tournaments, 50% of the people that go to those tournaments are from there. They live there. They get out of their beds, they go to the tournament, and they go back to their beds, right? And they drive rugby in that community, and that event helps them drive their community. It's much what you've been talking about, Mary. Yes. And so that's what Los Angeles has to be. So empowering it by the name, giving it the LA Sevens, right, is something that it really is trying to connote an empowerment to this community, right? And look, LA is iconic, right? Globally too, right? So, and you can argue the same thing. Well, USA Sevens, well, where is it? Oh, it's in Vegas. Well, you always know where LA Sevens is, right? Yes. So just like the move from Las Vegas, there's a yin and a yang to all of it.
Yeah, and hopefully the success of the LA 7 will bring more people into this part of the world, and as you said, not only connected cultures, but also the sports itself. And hopefully, LA will be one of the rugby hub of our nation and world in that. So thankful that you're here tonight. Do you have any question for Dan? Oh, you have a question?
Oh, it's from Fuimono. Is it only 2 days now?
Yep. Yeah, it's a good question. It was 3 days, and that's what they're referring to in Las Vegas. The reason why it was 3 days is it was because of television. It was broadcast on NBC, and NBC had to finish for the 6 o'clock news on the East Coast. So that means on the West Coast or Pacific time, it had to finish by 3 p.m. So you can't play 3 games, on a Sunday if you have to be finished by 3 p.m. So we added the Friday, to that, and it became a 3-day tournament. And I think it kind of just grew that way, and therefore, but 90% of the tournaments that are men only, just are the 2-day tournaments, right? So it was kind of going back to that format. As we alluded to earlier, as the growth of this event comes, adding, a Friday festival, adding a Friday, competition, adding more to that. Remember, we have the Los Angeles Invitational, which is all the teams. It's the next people, right? It's the women's elite, the men's elite, the college, the high school, the youth. These are the people that are going to be in the Olympic Games. I mean, these are the kids. these are the people. So we have a big Friday going on, but it's just a matter of that the competition itself is 2 days.
And besides, it's going to be available on the mainline media for people to watch, if, from afar, if they see here. So, that also increase the fans of the rugby world in LA.
Yep.
You want to add on?
Yeah, Dan, I wanted to explain on games that are Friday vacation. That doesn't show on but,
Okay.
Just
Yeah, and you can go to the LA7's rugby.com and click on the Los Angeles Invitational, the LAI, and basically all of the Friday games are in what's called the Great Park, which is in Irvine, in Orange County, and it's a wonderful complex. I actually went down there this morning. I hadn't seen it yet, and it's tremendous. It's 18 grass and turf fields and a stadium, and just that's where the Anaheim Ducks train. They've got a big ice. It's really cool, family friendly, big reflecting pool. So all day long, and we'll have food and drink and merchandise and all that stuff down there. It's free for everybody. So if you're, you can come and you watch some of the best rugby that colleges and clubs and schools and youth all playing over the course of 9 to 5 all day Friday, and then everybody moves to Dignity Health Sports Park on the Saturday, and all the fields. We have 11 fields for everybody that doesn't know the dig, and that surround the stadium, and we'll be using 6, 7, 8 of those for up until about 1 or 2 o'clock on Saturday, and that's where it all goes. So it'll kind of be a bit of a little bit of a rugby utopia, where you're just looking everywhere and there's rugby everywhere, and it kind of feels like it really feels like when you're at those type of environments that rugby's arrived in America. It feels like you feel when you're in a proper rugby playing nation where there's goalposts everywhere, there's fields everywhere, there's kids everywhere, there's jerseys everywhere, there's balls. It's great, Yeah.
Any other question? If not, then because we have another program coming behind
Good.
us in Samoan language.
Good. Well, thank you for having me. We're gonna announce a few things and over the next couple of weeks. So make sure social media, follow us. On LA7's Rugby on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, and a lot of stuff that's coming out. I know that this station and your community will be pumping things out, and I look forward to coming back. Maybe in early February and talking about it again. Yeah.
Thank
Thanks
you
very
so
much.
much.
Pleasure.
You are always welcome. Just let us know, and you're welcome to come back and continue this conversation about the LA rugby tournament.
Great.
Hopefully, your hard work will be a fruition to character as a good leader of the sports.
Great. Look forward to it.
Yeah, I think these people, they just,
Any other question that?
yeah, I hope everything's going well. We are thrilled to be hosting back rugby. Yeah, okay, thank you. And of course, yes, the indigenous people like Japan must for the sport. Thank you, Anna.
You're a hardcore fan of rugby.
There's a fantastic lesson in sport that rugby proved over the last 30 years. And many Americans, let alone people in Samoa, will remember the movie Invictus, which is how Nelson Mandela used the sport of rugby to unify the nation when apartheid was falling apart, And what happened in Japan this year with South Africa beating England in the World Cup final was kind of the culmination of all his hard work. In America we say African American, but around the rest of the world they say, the black African, captain South Africa, Silo Kolosi, captain South Africa to win the World Cup, and if that wasn't what Nelson Mandela was thinking,
volumes to the progress.
Absolutely,
humanity.
to have that right. It doesn't mean everything's right. It doesn't mean that everything's hunky dory, but it means that when you never would have thought that a black man would captain, kind of a white sport, and all of a sudden you see this man, standing up with a William Webb Ellis Trophy, in a place like Japan, who you never thought would have hosted a World Cup. It was a pretty cool thing to see, and just shows that how sport can and rugby can change some lives.
Of course, like I said, they speak volumes to where we are as humanity. How far the nation of South Africa comes to the reality of their own freedom. Somebody else for history. Always somebody will do good works in another generation. Again, I can never say that thank you for your presence. It becomes a blessing to us and our community, and you're always welcome back. Just let us know, whatever avenue, whether through air or straight to the telephone of the. You're always welcome. Just give us time.
Call in like a prank. So.
We're buddies, Dan and I.
Good. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Dan.
Again. Asa Rupes. Hey. Amaru.
Tolo I fear in my own love iliva yepi upu le muanga ngana se ilunga ete mo ilo fala be malulu te mo e mafana fana be ofea ole nei la lolangi te au mawai te mana tua lo atu no moni se ilunga e te toe fo I mai ile lau ile no fo I mai ele tu e fai mo tofi Samoa Samoa ele ngalo tu oe o oe la upeni na tautele ole tomai na tu umutu mai ole ponga yo lo uata mai o tu fa afetai o au tu manai ita penina oil le Pacifica lo whaavai ia tūmau lawanga nuu ia uumau ia whaavavau Samoa
Antono le naua family ina fa fonga inga pa ia fo le tunu o lo o mai mo mai ma a me se o lo to fita fa fonga ia tu sai fo io fatal no ina fo io mata upo pe o no to fa fonga mai ai ma sila mai ai a o malo ti ai le nei ofisa ia tu sai o tauru manga o ngā luenga fo io lo audio li mai e pe o ta'alonga tau sineonga ta'alonga lakapi whaapertania ia o lo o fau whaatinoina e le nei ai o LA o le nā laua mai a tu fo ila ia fa tal tan wanga pe ono to mon mawina le ni afi ya tu sai o taur manga pe ona iai le nei o nanga ia o lo ngā ruru e fa tasi ai ma le fionga ia Samoa e tena ne fo o le latu fa tonga Samoa o tasi o te pena ina le fu le atunu Samoa na lua i le nei vaenga o le atunu ia ma le malo le na o le sunga le li pule ia po le fatun sili fo o talonga la kapi i le nei atunu e pe la o na uto mo le mawina i fatal tanuanga pe o na uto fa fonga ma iai ia ai o dato por kala masani lava le nei so lulu te tasi ia o le sa afia le fai oa ia le nei la ato e liliu ma iai le dato maftanga fo i le nei po ia te nane fo o le whawawina o le tautua no whare so si whonga le tai o whau i le nei aso. Ia la tātu fo inisia tātu pes pesenga o whai pes so filoi ia ono tātu whasolo i lea i por kalame pe ono fufoina. Simari whafonga.
Mai o mano le vovea te fia whala Sauna saulea E aeti e nei lau pasika ai o usu e hena A ai lau kaiwa E la te asoa o ola taula liloi Lau mama sue tupe lau tauli Ole ala whai le mana mea hela o la sui puai Tua i moana, tua i moana Tua i moana, tatu matala Ea, whai mai a sau Petua i moana, petua i manu Sau i alau pele, sau masina i kuwa i malu Se i nua ne ahoi, i te mao le nu I bolo mai o mano le vave ahoi Te pia whalawa, sura soleo Ia eti e nei lau pasika ai o sue hena A ai i lau kaiwa E la te asoa o ola taula hiloia Lau mama sua tupe lau tauli Ole ala whai le mana mea hela o wasu i puai Tua i moana, tua i moana Tua i moana, tua i moana tatu matana Ea, whai mai e sau E tua i moana, e tua i manu Sau i alau pele, sau masina i kuwa i malu Se i lua le ai, i ta maule nu
Si u fonga mātonga o fie. O le awhai pesele nā le penini o tia whau. Le fionga ia savea. Ia marwharitua ia Maria. Ia pe o nau tau māsani e fo i si u fonga o le nei fo i awhai pesele lau i loa. Ia e wila fo i na ua whai langi fo raunga le fo i tamali i lau i loa o le musika. Ia pita iane tu mau pea le malu ma le longo le lei o whatunga. Whawhiawhia ina ma whanofo ngō whia ina i fo i ia manatu ma loto fo i o le pa ia o le atunu. Ia e o lava fo e ai tupulanga talavou. E mo o lava i whatunga le penina o tia whau. O tūlanga lai pe o nau tau whaafonga mai i ai. Ia o e pea o na o tau mai tau ina, mai tau urumanga o le whaatalitani noanga pe ona mawai atu nei. Ia tonu o loo iai fo ini popo lenga i nisi o le tātou atunu. I suinga lea ua iai le nei vai tau ma le nei tausanga i le nofuanga o le a whaatino ai ia le tālonga lea. Ia pete iani, ia pe iau no tō whaafanga mai i le tali le tamaloa e tusai o fesili e pe ona tuina iai. O le soifuanga leo tātou e pe a umi ao na masani se mea sa a nga i pea iai i ni tausanga se tele. Ua whainga tā fo i ono toi suia ia vaenga i loto ma finangalo. E pita iane, o le si a o onga tā ua fo i le suinga le wei nei. O le tau mawhai e sa ili ni mea fau. O vaenga la ia e pe o le si tū tā ua lea o le liliwina mai fo i o le taalonga lakapi tai to fitu. Ia wa o le si a vaenga e pe ua ngalo atu, atonu ua ngalo fo i le to tele. E pe ia ona a matai ona tadia ele nei atu nuu le taalonga lakapi fa Britania. O le malai lamba lea na a matai nai. In nei tausanga ona li liu loanga leanga i San Diego. Ia whaatino ai i ni tausanga fo i pe wha. Ia ona li liu lole i Las Vegas. O i nāla pe ua whaisi umi fo i oia i maua maasani e fo i tangata. A tonu la o leisi lea vaenga o langona fo i le nei taimi. Ona ua pe ua maasani le auto waa o tātou tangata i Las Vegas. E tusai o le taimilisanga leo le taito o fitu le lakapi. E pise i o i nā fo i la ua a matao na whasilisili ai. Ia ma o lea la ua utou maa ua le mai ai. Ia maa fua anga fo i. O le AVSina mai Las Vegas. A toi fo i mai i le nei talawhātai o le LA County. Ia e peila ona maalia i le whaarongolongo i le tali a le pule fo i o lakapi le nei atunu lakapi wha Britania. O le valu tausanga o lumanai. O le atari malo ai Amerika i le stetele nei o California, i le county nei o LA, i le city leo Carson. Ia, i tūlanga o taalonga le Olimpeka. Mai o le malai fo i la leo le atoe fo i mai iai le taalonga taito fitu. O i nā le o fuafua i le uni le kapitele Amerika. O le a whaatino i fo i la tānu sanga la kapita taito fitu i le temi o le Olimpeka. E pese i o le isi le nā vaenga o le vaai mamau a le sunga fo i le whaatonu sili po o le CEO o le lakapi Amerika i le nia tunu. Ia, e alai ona toi tau mawhai mai le taalonga i nei. Ai mō no fuanga, matūlanga e pe ona atu ngalu iai, ma popole iai, ia nisi fo i ola tau mawhai e tuli loa pea le nei taalonga. E tainane fo i o tātou tangata i tū ese o le nia tunu o a fium papa au iei. Ia tunu o le nā ua maua mai le saunuanga le susunga fo i ia Dan. Ia o no fuanga e pe o na iai a whaletani malo o nisi fo i. Ia lese ai titi le IULA. Ia mai ele na o se fulu fo ni whaletani malo po ni motel so lo iai. Anua ia o lesi fo i vaenga. Ele aia se Samoa o inisi stete atu i tua atu California. Ele ai ni ona ainga ile nei ai o le a toi fo i mai ele taalonga. Ia o nisi nā tūlanga. Ia pe ia ona o le vai inga fo i e masani e ia le tangata soifua. E pise i a masani a i se me e alu so i ai. I o whainga tā fo i ona toi li liu se isi vaenga. A o nisi nā o vaenga tā ua o le ni. Ia o le wheiloa i mai e fo i maainga o lo i nei le nei tu o le atunuu. Ia e tainane fo i. Ia o sailinga o nisi mea fau. E au fo i la ona toe fotu ai. Wa u fai fo i si levo tele i toe o le malai lea. Ia ai o whamatalanga e pe ona maua i ai. O te le se swing o le toe whaafowina ma nisi tūlanga o lo i ai le malai lea o le a whatino i nai le taalonga. Ia atonu o tūlanga la na ia ma le tūlanga e pe o nā ungani atu ai pea ia i la tau fo i o lo o whaatau taia le tūlanga le le liu mai o le lakapi i nei. E pe o ngā lue whaatasi ai lo wharewa le si fonga le taia fo e tena ni fo o Samoa o tasi. Ia, o le lango a lo tātua tunu. O le lango o le tātua tunu o le tūlanga na pito silio na mo o mia o le fo i la ua ia ini nai vaenga e tau su e ini nai se leni a wae le mawhai ona o tātou o atu na o le whaatalofa ma whaafeiloa i le tātou au lakapi. Ia e te tau au na iei sina angalelei. Te tau na whaatino sina alofa. Ia e ala ini nai mea alofa. Ia e le whaapea la o le a whaatau ni mea alofa se tele pi o whainga mea alofa o klisi masina umatu nei. Leo ni nai se leni. E mo o mia. Tati eia tutongi o masani ai tamala antou ia a o le o mai nei o le tali malo wha Samoa. O le tali malo wha Samoa la le nā. E le ngata o le whaatalofa o le whaafeiloa ai tala noa i ai. E masina mea e tu i ai o lātou a au. Ia e tala masina i ai foi. O le i ai o lātou tangata o lo i ai o lātou ainga. I le nei maenga o le lalolangi. Ua o mai e le whaasolonga o le tālonga. E ale nā i lau whaafu. O le lango lava. O le mea pita sili nā o na tāua. Ia. A o le was fulma le tolu minu te aine le tūlai malu. Ana kose ua whaafeilo. Mai whaatalofa whaafeilo e tūlau fitelenga protese fuaina. Ia o... a pia atu wha o ngā tutonu. Tūlau lava o le maua atu le amatanga o le tātou porkalame. Ai lea whaina lea, whaaftai le lofa o le tapa au le langi o mwhai on tātou toi whetā whai i le nei a fiafi. Ai roi o whai walo whilemo le tautua mrea wa unanga whatumari e wās tātou ai mō le manuia lau tele o tātou tangata manuia lau unanga. Alo whaaftai tele lava ana e tusa ai o lau whailoa i māsani ia i anga fo o le tautua le whariwa le sirsi ufonga le tai o fau. Whailoa i mai fo i whare tue a talapeli mwhatalo wha mai. Malo whaaftai tele lava, whaaftai lo tau lango mai pea, ia, i le au nanga lo wharewa le silsi ufonga le tai au fau. Ia o le a tātou, fo i seisi a tātou musika, ia, e whaatoa maadia e fo i langona o le niwa vaenga o le aso. Simare whaafonga.
Far
ua te anei le tula valu I minute se fulu ma le valu. Ia e pe ia ona ma vai atu fo'i ia tūlanga e pe ona amatai nai le wha wina o le tautua alo whale wane si whonga le tai o fau. Ia o vaenga e pe ona masani ai lea teimi ma lea teimi tu ua lava ia porkalame whaata o to oto ma porkalame o fuofuoina ia ona oni malo e ao na iai le whaamua mua lo whale wale si whonga le tai o fau. Le laua toe so o atu ia le tautua lo whariwales ia o tūlanga e pe ona masani ai a whali tūlai valu ia ona amatu leo tātou whaalinga whaapisinisi le fo ila utaunu mai ma tātou tala mai lo tātou tunu Samoa ia vaenga umana o le autou whaafafonga iai ia I le toe whaawawina le nei o a tātou porkalame masani ina ua te atu vaenga tā ua foi a amatai nai le ni tautua I le nei pō ai o tūlanga e pe ona iai fo'i le whaatasi mai o le pai o le atunu ia o nisi nā vaenga e pe ua whaafua loa fo'i ia taurumanga o le amatanga ia ua le mawhai e ono mātou a fea ma mori mawina fo'i loutou mafuta mai ala isa mātou whaafeilo I atu o le whaamalulua tuai I le ni vaenga o le fiafi ia ai o le ua mafuta mai le tamata ia lu isa fa mausili fa talo fa tu Mr. Suifuina le ni fiafi pa fe na mamalu South radio crew o lo tautua le tatu porkalame aftai tele lama lu isa o nai manuia ia ese vaenga ia tala noa mai puni puao ia masaloa o fuafuanga foi a ila tou o le ia le nei ai ia le teimi whaatino ai ta alonga te to fitu e pe ona mafua ai ona le wha taunuina ia nisi foi o fuafuanga ia ai pe ia o ona moli atu pea ia talo sanga I o lo tātua tunu le la ua mau atu ia o puni puao la le stangata leo le asaue ele ngata e mai moa I ta alonga ai o le ni foi ai o le matua ia noa ia o tūlanga o loa lo tātua tunu o lo whaatawai e le ngata o lava o mea tau lima au fiaite unga tamaitai o tautalinga o taulima o mama ia whapea ua le iloa lau mama whaipoipo e maua I nei awa o le o toe tuli tolu loa ina o te le fo le swinga o le fo I vaenga o aso o mawai ia pia na o mama au loa sa tuli loa I whaai poi unungari o aso lani ia o ai so se lanua so se toe ua mawai ma le mama whaai po lanu uli le fo ila wanga o si ai fo ila mama whaai po wha Samoa ia e mawai I o loa I vaeng whapena. A whaila o le ilo le mama whai po puni puao. Pele I ai fo se mama whai po mua. Ia, o le temi tōnu ala lea. E o mai ai fo ile mata mata pua I le tātou au. Ia, asi a inga, ia oni nai whaatau e umare la kapi, fo I ma oi le meo a fion papa awai. Ia, o nai vaenga nai, o le a maua I le temi le tasi o nai lama e whaatau ia o nai tau mafa wai anoa o le mea le I pia o le Samoa pa wale mea ia maua lau tupe wai sale e talafu e whaatau wai ia o tūlanga lana o le au ngā lana o le temi lea o le tau whai o mai whaatasi e lango le ngata a inga e wheiroa iai ia whaatau ni nei lava o a te unga whaata mai ta I e mawai ia a tahau mawhafo maua le vai salo o le supoesi o le kokoesi ia o whaausi o tūlanga whapena ia wai le ale manatu ia o telefo ni taimi e tāpena pena ai al komiti fo I ua fuafuaina ia o le a te tala fo I ni a manoa whapena ina ne I televave atu lau tala au te ia le langona o tūlanga na o lea la tapena fo iai. Iai ni nai food booths e te tonu o le malai. E whaatawa ia tā mafa al tātou atunu. Mawai masi saina, o keke puaa, o pani popo. Ia, noa noa. E le ai ase taime e ono mawai se si i se fia tāu mafa i tonu i. A wala a telema. Ia tāu mafa le tātou tunu o le a mawai. Ia. Puni puao o te vaai atu nei o le a whaatau nei ma la umama whaipoipo me a ua watu ia lelei e lelei ale e o le spea fo i lea a wae a umatu le na whaipoiponga ia la tue sauni le whaipoipo a o loo teleani nai mama whaipoipo spea ia tapa atua i le teme o le a tupu ai ia la lewa o na tāpena pena iai ia, ia ia le manatu. Ia o tamaita i uma le whalalanga. Ia o le a tua iai. Ia le whainga whai oni whi au le nā vai tau. Ia wa aluna winga. Ia ia ma se le o tāpena pena mai le whia o mai. Ia ilo mātui tūlangi mai moina. Ia ma whailoa iai i tamata alo mai Samoa. Ana kose i oe so e whaina o le mita mtanga le nā o le anganga. O na ualu i luma le malama o alo ma whanau. O si o tātou tinu ui le whaanga tamalama leo le lakapi e le ngata i lea ua avea mai tu e maua ai le whenangolang mai o tupulanga le lalolangi e ala i ta alonga lakapi International Rugby e ese le mātanga o fio le vaai ia vira se tu anea i lunga vaai atu i tamata alo o lo maua pea le fia whainga uo lava i lunga o ta alonga e whaamalo le sunga ia Lyle mo lona susu mai i ma whaailoa mai winga uma ma wha taatianga o le porkalame a wale alo atu i le sevens whaaftai io ta ua tele ia i tūlanga ia pe ona tātou talatala noa ia i le nia fiafi o vaenga na awai amanatu fo i oro i pe senga tātou tunu e whaatau le tūlanga tonu a lewa mai e ana o le au ngā fo i leo o mea ne o taalonga e maa sani e tupulanga e le se ia vaenga e pe ona tala noa fo i aile nei pō ia o le ua luas fulmoreo no minute te ai nili tūlai malu o le ato e tātou ia se tātou peselea ia a mai ala le tātou peselea ia ona whaafonga mai lea ia tātou whaalinga whaapisinisi.
Sala ifngaula lelo fafa mamau piole tunga mau tawale puane ngano lautai mane iale loa manufe aiole basala loa Masalo itani uiole lofa au lili levano fufunga mai fo isaruna le lofa moni
mai Fe tu fa ilala o ai Longo I tino lona man mai
Moe pelama isa ifasi alofa Musue iangi malema sangi itonga La pele utama susua lelofa Ta feifo iho langona Oto fange mali mana onga Moe pelama isa ifasi alofa Musue iangi malema sangi itonga La pele utama susua lelofa Ta feifo iho langona Oto fange mali mana onga La pele utama susua lelofa Ta feifo iho langona Oto fange mali mana onga La pele utama susua lelofa Ta feifo iho langona Oto fange mali mana
Le tautua whewhaipea le Al Rubius Junior Canceria Market i le a o Long Beach o lo o tautua ina o e Samoa i le fitu aso o le vai aso. Te tala i le valu le tai au se ia pa ia le iwa i le afiafi. Whaatumulia le a maketi i so se o loa Samoa e te filifili ai. Maua tanga talo Samoa, talo fiti, pusa fai, pusa mamoe, pata mai New Zealand, tanga lauru au, pusa turkey tail, po le muripipi, maua le tau sami vela, mo tātou Samoa, mai le aso wharaile se i pa ia le aso sa. A o le tau sami Mexico la vai e te tala i le fitu aso le vai aso. Ma nei a fo i ai whai te swinga o le tau sami, i oe, ko ma te isi le talo ma le whaspoi masima, ai alo ane i se tau sami Mexico e wha masani ai. Fa tonu se po avela ia po le size 2 mo aso fa nau ma so se aso fa ilungaina a fia lafo fo se tupe fa mo moli sa mo ma so se tunu o le lanolangi a wani ngalo o lo iai fo i tonu le Al Rubius Junior Market ia le au unanga le Vico by Western Union money transfer le Western Union malana au unanga malana tautua ua loa tausanga e lafo nei e maua nei e uma nei fo i lona wha ngaina manatua e afe ane i le Al Rubius Market malana au unanga le malolo i le fitu aso o le vai aso o le tuatusi 5 tasi o Long Beach Boulevard, Long Beach, California 90805 ia pe telefoniane i le telefoni 5 fa fitu tasi iwa valu fesili mo le lipule Ruben Gonzalez ia po le tamaitai o fou le leisi uawi maies manatua le au nanga yo Al Rubius Junior Market i le fitu aso o le vai aso.
O le Bay Area i le Aio San Francisco. Ia olo iai fo i se isi au nanga se tasi fo i ano le atunuu. Le whaletua ia ma Marietta Luana Nao Winston. Ia ma Lona Alii. Ia ma le la company la le na wata ua le Sir Winston Funeral Services. O tūlanga e pe ona iai le au nanga le o se wha mama a venga le au maua fo i mo le ngata o tātou tangata, ia ai so se lanu lava, so se ngangana, atunu ese o loo i le nei vaenga o le atunu i California. O tūlanga la ia, e pei o na iai la le au nanga lea, ma le lātou fisosoani malosi, ona e leo te tu mau le taungo fie o le foi industries. Pe atala noa loa i vaenga o maliu, e le tasi foi se tu ainga whaatinonga e whaatinoai, ia me se foi o vaenga ese e mana au mia e ainga. Ia malesi foi vaenga o le taungata o ia vaenga e pe ona mo mia. O vangala ia e pe ona o tau maua mai ai ia le au nanga le nei a le Sir Winston Funeral Services e fisosoani malosi i le tangata o le soifuanga e mese foi wa sila fia le le il fale tua ia luana masionali e wo